Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Is this the one? Here we go. Sorry, we're putting our life back together from the weekend that was. 9:02 on this Monday morning. It's the 26th day of August. CJ Nasello, it's our daily show right here on RiverBender.com, Roku TV, anywhere, everywhere you get this show. Thanks for tuning in. We got a great one for all of you. We're going to be talking to the Grafton Art Gallery in just about, couple minutes or so, but who's counting? Then around 10:10, we're talking to Grid Solar, and we're going to get the latest on the solar industry. Plus, we're going to hear about some spots they're going to be at around town. So if you want to ask some questions, you can go on in and do so. Plus, in 10:35, we're going to be talking to Hayner Library, Beyond the Shelves, with our community staple. And each and every first and last Monday of the month, we talk about all the great benefits that await us with that Hayner Library card. But at 9:03, here's what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you join myself and 70,000 people that are in the know each and every day of the work week that get our daily email update, and on Saturdays at 7:30 every morning with your daily dose of local news, sports, plus with our partnership with the Associated Press, national and breaking news, all at the touch of a button. We'll take you to Alton first. The Illinois State Police have identified Vernon Randall Jr., 27 years of age, of Alton, who died in a shootout near Liberty and 6th Street in Alton last Thursday. The altercation also resulted in the death of Odin, a beloved police K-9 at the Alton Police Department, and injuries to Officer Alan Averbeck. The incident led to a gunfight that left Randall dead and Officer Averbeck injured. Odin was shot during the exchange and later succumbed to his injuries at Hawthorne Animal Hospital. Officer Averbeck, released from a local hospital, and Alton Police Chief Jarrett Ford expressed his condolences and gratitude for the community's support. Also in the news, late Saturday night, a severe fire broke out in the 8100th block of Goshen Road, drawing multiple fire departments to the scene. The absence of fire hydrants necessitated a second alarm and complicated efforts as water had to be shuttled from an additional location. Firefighters from Troy, Edwardsville, Glen Carbon, Hamel, Marine, Hamel EMS, and the Blackjack Fire Department responded to combat the blaze. By early Sunday morning, crews were still actively working to extinguish the flames, which had already breached the roof and spread throughout the residence. More updates will be available, and we will keep you posted once we hear of them. Out of Granite City, a Granite City couple, Patrick L. Godfrey and Sarah Chung, 41, face multiple felony charges after the death of a 1-month-old child exposed to methamphetamine and cannabis. Both are charged with involuntary manslaughter and endangering the life or health of a child. Officers responded to the report of an unresponsive infant on the 29th of June and discovered the couple had used meth and co-slept with the baby. The cause of death was ruled as asphyxia due to an unsafe sleep environment. The couple admitted to drug use and meth was found near their bed. Both remain in custody, pending trial. Finally, in the news this morning at 9:05, firefighters from multiple fire departments responded to a house fire on the 1400th block of Williams Street this past Friday afternoon. Smoke was seen coming from roof vents when Wood River Fire Department arrived on scene and encountered that heavy smoke. Firefighters quickly brought the blaze under control, preventing further damage. A box alarm issued for additional support from Roxana, East Alton, Rosewood Heights, and Edwardsville Fire Departments. Madison County Emergency Management deployed their rehab truck, and Alton Memorial had an ambulance provided standby support. No one was at home at the time of the blaze, and no injuries were reported. The Illinois State Fire Marshal is currently investigating this case. At 9:06, it's 81 degrees in downtown Alton. Let's take a look at weather for the next couple of hours. It's going to be a hot one today, but quickly, an air quality alert was issued for today. The St. Louis Clean Air Partnership has issued that air quality alert for the St. Louis metropolitan area from 10 a.m. this morning until 8 p.m. this evening. An orange air quality forecast means that maximum ozone concentrations are expected to reach levels that pose a health risk. Adverse health effects increase as air quality deteriorates. Ground level ozone is an air contaminant which can cause breathing difficulties for children, older adults, as well as persons with respiratory problems. Reducing outdoor physical activity is recommended today. If a regularly scheduled workday, you are urged to consider telecommuting, carpooling, or utilizing public transit. Avoid excessive idling and do not top off when refueling motor vehicles. The use of gasoline-powered lawn equipment should be reduced or postponed until late in the day. For more information, you can visit cleanairstlouis.com. 81 degrees currently in downtown Alton. It feels like 85 today, mostly sunny and very hot. The danger of dehydration and heat stroke are present today if you are outside for extended periods of time. Tonight, clear, warm, and humid. Little heat relief. Uncomfortable night for sleeping without air conditioning is our weather note here from the St. Louis weather region tonight. Feels like 85, humidity at 62%, but right now air quality is starting to get a little rough at 62, which isn't moderate. Grass levels are at moderate levels today as well. Ragweed is very high, and the UV index very high as well. If you're going outside, slap some sunscreen on and try to limit that outdoor time. For the next 5 days, here's what it looks like. Temperatures reach triple digits today and tomorrow. They're predicting 100 today. For the high, 75 for the low as we head into Tuesday. On Tuesday, a high of 101, a low of 73 degrees, and on Wednesday, a high of 95, a low of 71, with a 40% chance of rain. On Thursday, the 29th of August, a high of 96, a low of 69 degrees, and on Friday, a high of 84 degrees, a low of 66. So we'll start to see temperatures drop at the end of the week. That's a look at your 5-day forecast. For time and temperature throughout the day, call 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. You can always stay up to date and in the know at all time in real time by going to RiverBender.com/weather. Before we take a quick break, let me fill you in on Jazz and Wine Fest, which is set for this Saturday, August the 31st, one of my favorite events. Jim Manley, the one and only, going to be headlining this great event where the Alton Amphitheater turns into a jazz nightclub. One of the coolest things out there. We're talking charcuterie boards by Brown Bag Bistro, a ton of great wine, tabletop seating on the stage while you're right next to that artist for just $50 for a 2-top, $100 for a 4-top, and tickets available as always at metrotix.com. You can also call 314-534-1111 if you would rather purchase your tickets by phone. Coming up on the 31st of August, the Alton Jazz Confluence, Left of West, and the one, the only, Jim Manley from 6 to 10 p.m. on our riverfront. For more information, you can go to altonriverfrontamphitheater.com. That's altonriverfrontamphitheater.com, or go to metrotix.com, get your tickets, and, of course, hang out with myself and RiverBender.com as we bring you the pre-show from Jazz and Wine Festival right here on a Saturday night in downtown Alton. That's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend at 9:10. But before we take a quick break, come back with the Grafton Art Gallery. Let's take a quick little check at downtown Alton and see how we're looking today.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1,000,000. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. 9:13. Welcome back to our daily show on this Monday morning. A little bit of Jimmy Buffett and Jackie Duty. How are we doing?
Wonderful.
Mil, this is really cool. We've been talking on the phone about the Grafton Art Gallery for quite some time, and we got a lot of goodies on this table today.
Yes. Yes. I had to bring a few presents with me today.
I love it. How are we feeling this morning?
Wonderful.
It's going to be hot
Yes,
today.
It is. You know, I'm enjoying being inside with you in the air conditioning.
Well, you know, you're in Grafton. You got the river right there too, so you always got a nice breeze hitting you. I'm guessing.
A breeze and beautiful views.
There you go. How long have you been with the art gallery since its inception?
Actually, it was interesting how it happened. I am a want-to-be artist. Like, I never had the courage to say I was. And just, you know, through some different friends in, like, the Latinx Art Club, and I had some opportunities open to show at a gallery in Kansas City, and that kind of gave me the courage to say, you know, maybe I am an artist. Mm-hmm. And so I moved to Grafton unexpectedly, and I heard that there was a gallery coming, and I was trying to work up the courage to go have a conversation, but not really.
I get you. I get you.
And so then I actually saw an article that they were going to close indefinitely, and I thought, that's tragic.
Yeah.
Like, we need this. Like, the community needs art. Grafton needs the art gallery. So it was just, I just feel like it was like God opened doors. And I had this incredible conversation with the owners, Gene and Donna Smith. And when I met them, I can't even tell you, it was just amazing to hear their heart and their vision for Grafton and for helping, you know, veterans and artists just across the region. It was incredible. So basically what I did was I went in there, had a great conversation, and said, let me just help you kick this thing off. And, you know, it's just crazy how things can happen and develop. So we ended up opening on Memorial Day, and as with the honor exhibit, and it was designed to just honor our veterans and to create a space for veteran artists and local artists to tell their story.
Well, that's really cool. I still, learning from Mayor Morrow that Grafton has the highest veteran density per capita in the state of Illinois. It's great that you started off that way. But, I wanted to ask you that, too, because the Grafton Art Gallery had all this hype. I mean, it was really exciting. Everyone was talking about it. But then that train kind of stopped for a little bit. And how important is it now, looking back, having that conversation and realizing we're glad we pushed hard and got that train rolling again, because it's hard once it stops to pick it back up.
I'll tell you what, it was so amazing. And just I can't say thank you enough to the community for their support. I mean, they rallied and everyone just stepped up, participated. I think we had 3 different mayors and over 150 people at our ribbon cutting. And then over the course of the next day, we had 1,500 people walk into the gallery. And
oh, wow.
It was just incredible to see. And people from across the region on both sides of the river were coming to see it and experience it. So I can't say thank you enough to everyone for being a part of it.
Well, and now once the art gallery opened Memorial Day, what was it like the weeks that followed it, too? Because it seems like the momentum never really left you guys once you opened up.
It hasn't. It's been so incredible. I love the thing about Grafton is we have so many tourists that come from so far away, and we've had so many people walking in, and I would say probably 50% of the customers that have come in, as I start asking them questions, I'm finding out about half of them are artists.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool.
Yeah, and that's what Jean's heart was, to really create a space for local artists to have a platform, because, and like with me, I was so scared to step up and say, no, I am an artist.
That's surprising to me, though. And not to cut you off, because you're always out there doing something. Not an insult, because I'm the same way. You always try to do, you put your effort out there, and you're always one to take that chance. So to hear that there was a little bit of some hesitation, but there's, honestly,
I was terrified.
There's nothing worse, though, than putting yourself out there the first time in that way, because it's, as people, we get kind of microscope for our day-to-day, but not our passions a lot,
Yes, well, and there's so many artists that have so much talent, and to see them come in and explore different mediums, like maybe they've come in and they spent years focused on watercolors, and now they're going to try acrylics, or now they're going to try sculptures, and to give them a space to say, we want to help you, and let's spread the word. Let's showcase the artists. Let's talk about what they're doing and help them, because an artist just getting started, trying to make money, it can be tough.
Yeah. Well, and what I think's really cool about where you guys are, and this is just learning the last couple of months with the marina, is that great American, or that, North American loop, and all these international travelers that come in, and they do make their way up to Grafton. It's amazing.
It is. And to that, we have artists from all over the world.
Yeah.
They're all local now, but they've come from Belize, Peru, Chile, Philippines, Holland, Thailand, Zimbabwe, Mexico, Brazil. I know there's more, but I always, forget a few.
I'm glad that you bring that up, though, because for 2 years now, I've said, and especially that started 2 years ago when I did the show and all of that, we were talking, there was a mini renaissance that was kind of happening in Alton, but now it's this last 2 years, it's expanded to now we're in a couple of townships in this Riverbend region, we do have a legitimate renaissance of this amazing art, whether it's in music, crafting, or any forum, we have it.
And that's what I love, is that art can be seen in so many different mediums. I know so many people that are bakers, that are artists.
100%.
And if you can just awaken that creativity in whatever medium you're passionate about, in media, in journalism, in writing, in music. We have one artist that he is in the production department at UMSL. And he was an engineer before he decided to get into, the arts. And he built this beautiful art piece that is 3D printed LED lighting. And the lights play to music that he composed himself. And there's 17 different sequences.
That's so cool.
And people drive by, they tell me, I've actually had people setting up chairs outside of the gallery at night to watch the lights play in our gallery. And it's incredible. I mean, the stories that are coming out, it's amazing.
Well, and that's what I think so cool about this, because the Riverbend region's a melting pot. It always has been for the hundreds of years that we've been around here, with immigrants coming in from different walks of life, different countries. And it's really bizarre because, when my family came in from Italy, one went up to Michigan, one came down to the St. Louis area. And it kind of shows cases in art, too, whether or not it's here or in Grafton. And that's why I think it's so fun to be a part of this renaissance, really.
I agree. I mean, and just to see some of the things that are coming. Like, I brought a whole bunch of things. I'd love to just show you. I mean, we have, so Jody Jedlicka, and to hear her talk about this piece is amazing. I'm not going to pretend.
Did she make that?
She made this. It's a handmade piece of pottery that is so beautiful. She has a couple more for sale.
I don't want to touch it.
I don't want to go. It's very heavy, but the quality and the craftsmanship is so unique. And I don't want to pretend I understand exactly how she fired or or the whole process that goes into it, but to hear her talk about it, it just makes the piece come alive to you, and I get so excited.
Well, and see, the thing is, like with pieces like that, and I'm staring right at it, I've been able to say I've been to like the Vatican and been to really wonderful museums. And just the finish on it. I mean, that's something you would see at a museum. That's it's phenomenal.
And that's what the work we've got. I actually have a gentleman. He owns a business in Edwardsville, but originally from Zimbabwe.
Oh, wow.
And so he brought this in. It's a Shana sculpture from Zimbabwe that was formed, and it's made of a certain onyx stone.
Wow.
And he has many pieces in our gallery.
Oh,
and
my
it's very
goodness.
heavy.
Yeah.
But and that one is and every piece has a story and has a meaning. So this is the greeting hands.
But you know what I think's amazing is the fact that you have this in Grafton now, because we don't even have this, this type of museum or art gallery in the area from what I'm looking at. Now we have art galleries and they're wonderful and great paintings and great work. But to have a little bit of everything in this diversification in this way is really wonderful.
And that's what I actually have here. This is a piece of jewelry.
Wow.
This is from Lou Lankman. So she is a veteran. So she served in the Army for many years as a lieutenant. And now she creates handmade custom pieces that are so beautiful. And what I love, I wish I was wearing a color shirt, because the stones, when you put them up to your shirt, they change color. So this is literally a piece that matches any item you have. She's had other pieces like the Moondrop, and they sell so quickly. And so I'm encouraging everyone to come down and check them out, because you'll never find another piece like it.
Well, one thing I wanted to touch on, because you just hit on it with the veteran side of thing a couple of times, is how important art is and stimulation is for mental health and everything else. Because we have a really big segment. Now we're starting to back up in a couple of months with Centerstone, as we always take a little bit of a break. But whenever you're having opportunities for folks to come in, and I know that we're going to talk about some veterans activities and different opportunities, but when you have this to where someone's able to fight through what they're going through, and it happens all the time, whether it's through writing, through painting, through sculpting, where folks are overcoming their severe mental health issues this way.
Right. That's what I think, awakening that creativity, it really does help people find a place of healing. I can't tell you how many conversations we've had with veterans that are using their art as therapy. Even one of our recent artists that was featured was Gaz, and he did a whole
I
feature.
remember that, yeah.
And so to see his work and to hear him talk about how he was able to use that to bring him to a place of healing, to overcome thoughts of suicide as he was healing from his brother, his brother's loss. And I feel like we can create that space, especially with so many veterans and seniors in the area. We can create these community nights to have them come in and sit with us and paint and put their pain and emotion on a canvas and find a place of healing through their art.
Well, and another thing I think is really good to talk about is the fact that this goes hand in hand with what Grafton's overall mission is right now, and that's really important, I think, for because an art gallery is an institution in a community. It should be the staple, one of the staples, where folks know that, hey, when I'm in town, I can go in here and find whether it's a class or a program or even just an exhibit to go see. Yes. And when you're tying in veterans and with this great, the National Memorial Military Ascent Wall, and
I'm so excited about.
It's incredible, though, Jackie, that you can that the art gallery is tying in all those different components of what Grafton's working so hard on right now and showcasing those in a different forum.
Well, and that's what we've been working with Seed to Sown.
Oh, yeah, wonderful people.
Yes, I love their company so much. So they've been bringing us T-shirts and polo shirts that you can actually come in and buy the National Memorial of Military Ascent shirts and support them through that. We have one of the local seniors donates necklaces made of paper that people are buying, and all of those proceeds are being sent to the memorial. And so anything that we can do to help. Actually, I have to talk about Samuel. He's a 13-year-old artist, and we found him at another photography contest at a gallery. And local. Yeah. Okay. He lives in Elsa.
Okay.
He's 13 years old, and we were talking to him about showing his work, and he said, my real passion is building dioramas. And so he built a diorama of this military scene. He took prints, like photography prints, and he's been selling out of his prints. And so we commissioned him to go and build a sample honoring Point to Hawk that's going to mirror the memorial, and he knocked it out in a week. And so we had somebody, somebody bought it. They're donating it to the museum, and over the next year and a half, we're going to be setting up an auction that someone could come and buy that memorial.
So you remind me of me in a lot of ways because you've done so much. You've done whether it's television or radio stations, magazines, newspapers. What makes this point in your life so special? Because to me, just talking to you, you're very passion driven, and to me this seems like it hits everything that you've been working on your entire career in a way.
It does. So growing up, my aunt actually had a pottery shop in Bethalto.
No kidding. Okay.
And so I would go there every week, and we would hand paint acrylic ceramics, which is something actually we're going to be bringing to the gallery as we get into Christmas.
I like it.
So it's coming soon.
There's nothing better than Christmas ceramics.
Right?
Seriously.
You hand paint your ornaments and
100%.
So I always loved it. And then, you become a teenager, life gets hard, you get caught up in all this stuff. And I'll tell you, I was not, let's just say I didn't really enjoy high school.
Same here.
It was brutal. And so I really struggled for a lot of years, and I stopped painting. And I remember I stopped painting back in completely, I think when I was 12 or 13. And then 2017, I was working at Fox 2, loved what I'd already spent years in media with newspapers, radio, and I had a house fire. And in that moment,
oh my God,
it was it's those moments of life where I call them the moments of impact that can, these moments of impact that everybody has them, but they can just, launch you on a completely different trajectory, because you have to take stock of what have I been doing and what am I really going to be doing with the rest of my life with intention. And so after that happened, I pulled away. Fox was wonderful. Loved it.
Everyone I've talked to that's worked there has said it's been great. That and Five both, just great
company,
spots. Yeah.
The people, it was amazing. But I took a step back and tried to reevaluate, and I moved into education for a few years, working with international students. I was traveling to Vietnam, all over the world, doing these things. And then I realized 4 years in, I'm like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing with my life.
Yeah.
You can get busy and get caught up. So then I quit, and I started a media company and sold it. But in that whole process, it's really been, I'm all about the process. And, it's a journey, right? So you take stock of every day, and you're like, is what I'm doing right now going to set me up for the impact I want to have for the future and for those that are going to live beyond my time here?
Well, let's talk, because that's a good point, because in media, in local media especially, regional's a little bit, or not regional, but national's a little bit different because you have so many on your team. But when you're local, you're working literally nonstop all the time.
All the time.
And no one realizes it. So when that house fire happens, do you realize it's time to kind of take a breath a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I realized I was spending 3 hours a day on Highway 270.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I doing?
Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
And that was a time to step back and go. And so then 2017, right after the fire, I picked up the paintbrush for the first time in years.
What'd you paint?
I ended up painting. It was so terrible. I almost. I wish I would. Because
I love the honesty.
As we talk about the process, let me tell you, this was awful. And I look back. I wish I would have kept it to remind myself how terrible it was, so I can remember the process of how you come. Because there are so many people that I talk to, and they're like, "I like to paint, but I'm not an artist, and what I paint is so terrible." But there's a learning curve, and there's a time, and as you go and as you try different mediums and as you try and explore different things, you'll start to see yourself grow through the process. And I feel like there's something to that. So keep those pieces in the beginning, because it's a great reminder of how far you've come.
Well, and I think painting and that type of art's a little bit different, because in music you can borrow a lot. Where you can take a sample of something, or you can take, everyone does it in music, but in art, in this forum, it's a lot different, because you can't take a piece of Monet and put it in your painting.
Right.
You really have to be that original curator of what you're trying to convey.
Yes. And I think there's something to leveraging systems and processes to teach people techniques.
Yeah.
But as they develop, they're going to start to understand their own process, their own methods, their own language in the art.
Let me ask you this, and you've done and been able to converse with so many people over your career and been able to do different things, but when you started really focusing and honing in on this side of Jackie, how did you change as a person, or what skills did you develop? Because to me, you don't only develop your art, but you also develop some coping mechanisms and ways that you can just go through the day and help your overall mood.
That's a great question. It's interesting. I now get up. I was so busy. I had like 25 different companies going. Like, it was so, I had no time for me. And I wrote a poem. I'm working on a next children's book that's all focused on the power of rest. And in that rest, if you really take time to just stop and just get quiet, and I'll even take off my socks and go walk in the grass, because there's something to that, And if you take time to just get really quiet and focus on resting, that's where the creativity gets sparked. Yeah. And so now I have very dedicated time in the morning where I get up and I paint and I sit in my sunroom and I just allow creativity to flow. And that's where the beauty and the inspiration. And then I go to the gallery and I talk to these artists, and I'm so inspired. I come home and I have to paint
you have a jolt of energy.
Yeah. Like, so and I encourage everyone, just walk into the gallery and let's show you what these artists are doing, because you will walk out so inspired that you can't help but go home and paint or cook or write a book or play some music, because it just awakens that creativity and you just get excited about being in that environment. And so if we can create that culture and empower people to move forward with that, why can't we create a whole region of artists that are now having impact on a national and global level?
100%. You got a moment to stick around? We got to pay a quick bill here. We aren't going anywhere, but hey, Jackie was talking about maybe taking the shoes off and walking barefoot in the grass. How about smoking some? Are you looking to channel your inner Snoop Dogg? Sweet.
I love that segue.
Oh, Jennifer Blum taught me well. Swing by Village Dispensary for the best cannabis around. Listen, their friendly staff will have you in and out fast, and you can say DOGG. Whether you're after vapes, flowers, topicals, tinctures, edibles, you name it, or just some really great accessories, they've got the stash to make Cheech and Chong smile. Locally owned, community rooted, and union built. They're all about quality at Village Dispensary. Jackie, I like Village because you've been to Casey's, and that guy that got $89 worth of lottery tickets that's sitting there and scanning them, you're waiting for 45 minutes just to get your coffee and go. You don't have to worry about that at Village Dispensary. They have a consultation area, so if you need a little bit of time, they'll pull you off to the side and they'll get you moving, or if you know what you're wanting to do, you have to be in and out faster, about 5 minutes time. Mine's about 4:35 is my average. That's why I like Village Dispensary. In and out, and it keeps you elevated. Remember, when you go into Village Dispensary, you tell them CJ sent you their way, because Jackie, it's a joint effort. VillageDispo.com, and start your journey with Village Dispensary today.
Dream Home Realty Center.
Hey Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team. We've got a showing.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now. You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com. Seconds. Sorry, it wasn't my fault. It was not my fault. I promise. And look at this. I didn't even get any damn water.
I was going to hit the go, but I didn't know what button to push. It was
well, Jackie, I'm telling you, I went up for water and I didn't even get that far. Oh, God. All right, back to Jackie and the Grafton Art Gallery. Okay, events to promote. As we're getting back, no, hold on here. Before we come back on, you have a whole table of things.
Yes.
Let's start really talking about this. So,
Okay.
Still Perfectly Imperfect. We know about this on the show.
Yes.
We've had Tara on. This is a wonder. Did you write in this one?
No, I was not in this one, but I love. So we actually have the first book, The Perfectly Imperfect, and then Still Perfectly Imperfect. And I'm actually working right now with the publisher. I'm working as a writing coach and editor for one of her books that's coming out in September. And so a lot of these are anthologies that bring together these incredible women and, you know, tell these amazing stories. And so we are selling many of those books in the Grafton Art Gallery. And so if you are a local author that wants to sell your book, please come see us, because we have many of the anthologies that are coming through those systems with the Grit series, with Perfectly Imperfect, and then Kayaditha's Rising will come out September 26th. And then I also have here, this is actually a book that was put together by the mayor of Grafton, Mike Morrow. I'm trying to get it on camera. Make sure you can see this. This is an incredible book that everyone should see, because he's an artist.
Is he really?
He was actually, 33-year colonel in the Army, and when he was in Kuwait, he was trying, they didn't have cell phones, they didn't have pictures, they didn't have all these things, and so he was trying to get his emotions on paper. So he had a sketchbook, and he just started to sketch what he saw. And, then somebody that he was with said, you need to put color to that. So he found a child's watercolor set and starts putting colors to all of these images.
This is all him?
This is him. And what happened was his wife found the sketchbook and said, this needs to be a book. So today you can come to the Grafton Art Gallery and buy his book and see his experiences as he was traveling and working to preserve the freedom that we enjoy in this country.
Wow. I mean, this is incredible.
It's amazing.
Because, this is really, this is told through the eyes of, this is remarkable. And just to see a few of the pages already.
And there's
they're
even
very
a picture.
Powerful.
There's one of a group of children.
The food
playing.
line got me. That whenever he painted the food line.
Oh, it was. And he writes a snapshot on each piece, so you know exactly what's going on with the story, and it just takes it to a whole nother level.
He's an incredible man. He really is just an incredible man.
And then, I also have other books here. So Paige Halsey is on KMOV Channel 4, and so she had put out.
She read down at Music in the Park, right? Or Grow Memorial Park.
Yeah, so now she's actually selling her children's book, and she also has an activity coloring book that goes with it. But then in September, she's going to be launching her next book. So she's going to be in the Grafton Art Gallery to do a book signing.
That's so cool.
So
it's hard to write children's books.
It is. And the illustrations, I'm like...
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
And then we had another one with Vicki Rogers called Miss Ruby and the Gigi Squad. And I love this book because she tells the story of the importance of engaging with the elderly and creating just opportunities for connections through multiple generations. So this is a beautiful book. And then she also has her activity book that goes with that. And then Rebecca Keller is actually an artist. She makes handmade candles, but she also does, she sold a couple of her paintings, but she also does these hand-painted journals.
Oh, that's cool.
And so these have been selling really well. So lots of books, lots of gift cards.
What is this one?
Oh, this is Tenacity. So I love this. I'm actually, one of the ladies that's in this book that's selling it is Esmeralda Ejeron, and she's from Mexico. She served in the Air Force for 26 years, still lives on Scott Air Force Base, but today she works at St. Louis University, and she's actually putting together the Coyotes Rising. But you can find her book Tenacity as part of the Grit series in the gallery. We have several local artists that have these greeting cards of their photography. This is, okay, Carolyn Schluter is amazing. She is a Miss Missouri senior. So I think she's...
Are you serious? I love that.
I adore her.
I love that.
She's
That's
84,
cool.
and she'll come in with her crown and sash and do events for us. But she's such a talented photographer and painter, and she plays the piano. I mean, this lady has, I mean, she's
Is
so
that
talented.
not edited?
No, she took the picture, and then, I mean, she sets up, I actually have a picture of her, of a dog driving a car where she's literally driving, and she pulls up to a stop sign, and just at the right time, the person sits back, and the dog jumps up and lands on the steering wheel. She has her camera, she takes a picture, and it's a top-selling picture in our gallery. I mean, it's amazing what she just, camera in hand all the time. Like, true artist. Like, I love it so much.
What I think, and Jackie, you know this, to work with any live animal is pretty tough.
She's amazing. And
wow.
she has so many, she has animal, like pictures, so many animal pictures of the zoos, of all of the birds and the water life that's on the Mississippi River.
What is that? That looks really cool.
Luann Brands has several pieces in our gallery, so they're
let me
so
run that
amazing.
up there.
She does a lot of watercolor. She does a lot of different techniques that are just.
The cat. I want to show a good close-up of that cat.
Love the cat.
This is the watercolor.
And it's amazing. She's selling these greeting cards and these. So many prints. We have so many prints available from Luann. She's actually going to be coming in as one of our teachers, so we'll be talking about that class in a second. And then I just got a new artist in.
Oh my goodness!
Nora Roberts. These are her
Look at the talent.
pictures. She made these cards, and she wrote the poem that goes on all of the cards. So that's a wedding card.
Goodness.
And so these artists, I am so inspired by the stuff that they're bringing in. It's amazing. And I'm like, every day we get new stuff. We get new... I have one lady that does quilling cards that I had somebody come in and buy them. They said they've been looking for them, so now they know where the place to go to get these quilling cards.
That is so wonderful.
You know, stained glass pieces. Oh, and okay, so this is a gift I brought you.
Oh, thank you.
As of this weekend, we are now selling T-shirts. Here's one. So an example, I have no Monet for Degas to make the Van Gogh. So you can pick up this shirt in the Grafton Art Gallery.
I like it.
And this is one I brought for you as a present. So you can see it has the Grafton Art Gallery logo on the back, but I'm going to see it.
You look funny with your head.
Did everybody see him do that? So that's the purpose. You look funny when you turn your head like that. We have so many fun shirts, so I want you to wear this everywhere.
Oh, I will. You know I will.
See how people respond. You know, I plan on wearing one and taking a video just to see and capture moments of like, yes, it's working. And then also this we have these magnets, just the Grafton Art Gallery.
So that's a magnet.
That is a magnet.
Are
that
you
is
serious?
for you, so you can keep it in here just as a reminder. We sell these for $4 just because we want to get as much as we can these magnets out on everyone's refrigerator and remind them, come see us, coming out with us, because there's so much changing all the time at the Grafton Art Gallery.
Well, and you know you have a couple of opportunities to come up and see the Grafton Art Gallery. So what is this Call for Art exhibit?
The Call for Art. So if you're an artist, I need your work. Now we know that we're going to be coming into a beautiful season with the fall.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're launching our next exhibit is going to be Autumn's Palette, which is a celebration of all the fall colors. So if you have photography, if you've done acrylics, oil paintings, watercolor, we want to see your art, your expression. Now, I actually had a teenager come in the other day and say, my best friend's name is Autumn, and I do faces. I do portraits. And I said, you know what? It's left up to the artist's interpretation. So please submit. If you go onto our website and you hit the call for art, you can actually fill out a form that allows you to apply for it. And if you're selected, then you can enter to be in our contest, and we'll have cash prizes where it's going to be a juried art show, so that somebody else is going to be picking the winner, because I'm not qualified. And it's too hard for me to say, one is better than another. So I want to see all of the local artists take advantage of this. Like I said, we are just getting into this new system it's following very much what many of the other galleries are doing in their process, but we want to make sure that we have opportunities for them to win awards and win cash prizes. And so we'll do the Autumn's Palette, and then going into the December season, we'll have a Christmas story. Going into January,
Wonderful.
we're going to have Sacred Bonds, which is the significance between eagles and the Native American culture. And then all year long, we're going to have different exhibits hitting different points.
So as you can see on your screen there, folks, if you go to graftonartgallery.us, you can click on the Call for Art tab, which is right there on the home menu button. You click on that, then Apply Now. You'll see the general guidelines and ways that you can go ahead and be a part of that. And whether it's, look at all the opportunities that you're letting people utilize their forum. It's not just a painting. You can pretty much anything you can think of.
Yes, we look at, how is art your expression? And if you're a baker and you say, you know what, I really want to bring you some cupcakes with orange, and look, I'll take them. Look, I have no problem helping you promote if you want to bring me a cupcake. So anything that you see, if it's art to you, bring it to me and let's have a conversation.
I love it.
So those are those. But then also in September, we're kicking off with more classes. We had our first class workshop.
Tom Daly is huge. That's a great name.
He is amazing. He did this. He's been doing a lot in the Belleville area.
Yeah.
And he came in and did an abstract workshop. And it was, the people that left were so inspired, and they were able to walk out with art that they're going to be able to put in their living room above their couch. Like, they were so excited about what he taught them. Because we're teaching the processes for people that are just dabbling or that are just wanting to explore. There's so many opportunities. Rebecca Keller is going to be doing an intuitive painting workshop.
Can we just real quick couple questions on the daily opportunity? What day was that again?
So that one, I don't actually have a day set because we just did his first workshop.
Gotcha.
But I have more coming. So he says, get the next group set up. So what I need you to do is tell me you want to be a part of it.
Okay.
Because his workshops are much smaller. So because he needs so much space.
I like that though, because it's more hands-on and you can actually get something out of it that way.
Exactly.
Love it.
Exactly.
Well, intuitive painting. Now, what does that kind of describe?
That it's really it's the practice of using your intuition as you paint. So you're going to explore colors, you're going to explore patterns, and you just begin to move items and things on the canvas and see things will evolve over time, and you just follow the process. And so listening to her talk about it, it was amazing. I'm like, I'm going to take this class personally. I can't wait to see what she does. But there's and she's the one that actually creates these journals. But her intuitive painting is a completely different process. So I'm excited to see what she's going to do with that.
Well, how great would that be? I mean, just me thinking off the top of my head, I mean, especially we're getting into the conversation that September's here, and guess what? Christmas is coming around the corner.
Yes.
You can get those journals for every middle schooler or high schooler out there right now, just as a stocking stuffer, a little bit something different. So not everyone has the same legal pad they're bringing into class, because I don't care what they say about computers, Jackie. I'm a note taker. I got to have paper.
I have to write.
Yeah.
Just something.
Yeah.
And to have these journals, it's a one of a kind.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep it because it's art.
And just like these cards, I mean, what better way than to, it's great to go get the cheapies at Walgreens, but when you can go and actually find a really nice card that someone's actually going to save because of it, I mean, that's really cool.
It's amazing. And they're so affordable. They're actually, many of our cards are cheaper than some of the stuff you'd find in the big box stores.
Yeah.
And then you're supporting local artists, which I love.
So how can we be a part of Rebecca's intuitive painting workshops?
So what I'm going to be doing is later today, I am going to be putting all of the classes on our website.
Okay.
So they're not there yet because I have been this week and got
a little
busy. But later today, you'll be able to go onto our website and see the full course of all the classes that are coming, because we have other artists that are doing some incredible things as well. Lou Ann, which has this greeting card, she's going to be teaching. A big trend right now is plein air art, where you're actually in nature, you're going out. So we had an event a couple weeks ago with the Collinsville Senior Center where they brought in a bus and we did a workshop where they were actually at the loading dock, having lunch, painting out in the air, and then they can bring their art into the gallery where they can show it off or even sell it.
Wow.
And so we want to do more with the senior centers around in that area. But she's going to be teaching watercolor on the river. So we're going to have a spot, whether it's at the lighthouse or at the loading dock, somewhere where they can view nature. That's going to be Saturdays from 1 to 4, starting on September 14th. And you can be in that for only $65.
I think that's really cool because so many, especially to be outside doing it, because it's to do your craft in your studio is one thing, but to be out in public is a little bit nerve-wracking, I'm sure. So to be a part of a workshop and do it, but with a group the first time or maybe the first 3 times, and then really find it, your passion that way.
And it gets attention.
Yeah.
Because people see you doing art in the public and they're like, what's going on? I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how many artists will come up and say, how can I do this too?
What I think's really cool, Jackie, is I don't know if it's social media that kind of spurred or like the TikTok COVID era, but every generation's really trying to find their passion in art, in different forums, but it seems like everyone's trying to find something for them in that realm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I see so many, the algorithms are all fed to feeds. So now everything I see on my feeds is art. Like people turning the canvases and the pour over and the blow dryers and all the, all the things. But I love it because you really, everything can be so unique. And when you fail, I've seen so many of my failures have become something greater because I'm not scared to paint over and start over.
Yeah.
And to see what it evolves and how it becomes over time. I mean, it really is, it's fun,
Yeah.
And I even following these artists, watching their social media channels and what they're doing, I'm like, yes, they get it. Like you just see, I'm like, man, everyone is getting so good at this. Bert Vandermark, so he is actually from Holland. He trained in France, taught in Holland. He was teaching at universities in Missouri. And now he's actually building a creative center, creative arts center at Mississippi Valley Christian School.
Oh, wow.
And so he's going to be teaching students there. And so he's taught everyone from kindergarten up through university up to seniors.
Wow.
He's going to be running a series of classes in the gallery. So he's going to do an oil pastel class that's going to hit in September. He's doing illustrations. Now, if you would see his art, he painted the Pisel bird. I keep selling those. Like I keep calling him. I'm like, give me another one. These are hot sellers. But he'll do commissioned art for dog memorials. So if you have a dog, and he makes them so realistic. I mean, he has so many cool things in the gallery, but he's going to teach you how to do that. And then he's going to have a happy fall art session that's going to hit in November. And step by step, he'll take you through the process. You'll be able to walk out with a 16 by 20 acrylic painting that you could put in your home. So that one's gonna run November 2nd. And like I said, all of these classes I'm gonna have online later today, if not tomorrow. Friday for sure.
We'll link everything in an article on RiverBender, and we'll link everything in the on-demand with just a hyperlink to the website. Y'all can click on it if you watch that way, or if you watch through the article too. But there's also community paint nights.
So I'm so excited about this because community paint nights, starting in September, not the first week of September because I'm on vacation, but the week after Labor Day. What is that? November 14th. We are going, not November, September 14th. Every Wednesday night, veterans can come with us and paint from 6 to 7 p.m. And every Thursday night will be seniors night.
It's cool.
And Friday nights will be date night. So come with your significant other or even just your best friend. If you need a girls' night out, come and hang out with us Friday night. I only can get 10 to 12 in our classroom, and you can register in advance, so I'm going to be working on that as well, too. But the goal is that 3 nights a week from 6 to 7, just come and paint in the gallery. Come hang out with us. For those that, maybe if you're a senior and you're lonely and you just want someone to hang out with, come and paint in the gallery. Yeah. You're going to meet a really cool group of people. We're going to charge only $10 for those nights because that's going to give you the canvas and all the paint you need, all the brushes. We provide everything. And you walk out at the end of the night with a painting that you've made. But for this promotion for September, every night is free.
Oh, that's cool.
So for the first month, if you are a veteran, a senior, or you're looking for a date night, come hang out with us, and we are going to cover the cost.
Man, that is awesome, Jackie. Well, and now wanted to go through real quick while we have, because we've talked about all the different countries that are already represented, but I know that there were a few local artists, too, that we wanted to highlight, and Kaylin, who is, just great with her bug-inspired jewelry, is wonderful.
I'm wearing the earrings
Are you?
today. I don't know if
That's
you can
cool.
see.
That's super cool.
I have been wanting to get these for a while, and I just got them this week. So that's the Madagascar Sunset Moth.
Love
it is
it.
our biggest hit. And I had somebody actually buy the Morpho Blue butterflies. They bought them on a Saturday. Sunday, they were still in town. They're walking down the street. I saw them up the road because their earrings were sparkling. And it was because they're so beautiful. And you know that if you're getting one of the River City Oddities, like jewelry pieces, you know you're getting something so unique and different because no butterfly is the same.
Well, and also you're getting something that's done the right way. The way that Kaylin does it is so wonderful. She's not out there, poaching insects. It's all a naturally cycled way. It's a really cool thing. If you guys, Kaylin was on the show before talking about that process, and it's wonderful.
It is, and she's actually been our biggest hit.
That's incredible.
I sell more of her jewelry than anything else in the gallery because I had somebody come in the other day from Highland because, so she brought me in a spider from Australia that was this big. We had a guy from North Carolina come in and buy it, and he said, I don't know how I'm getting this on the plane, but he's going home with me today.
Oh, my God.
And so he bought the spider, and I said, I need more spiders. So she sent me the orb weaver spider, which was not as big, but it was like that big,
beautiful,
pretty good
though,
size.
yeah.
And she posted it, and somebody drove in from Highland specifically to buy that. And I was like, okay, so we need more of those. So I called her and I said, I'm selling out again. She came in yesterday and brought me a whole new set of domes with one massive, I don't want to call it a tarantula, but it was a pretty ugly dude. Like, he was nasty. I would not want to see the spider outside of the terrarium, is all I'm saying. Like, they can stay in their shell and hang out there, but the stuff that she's bringing, we had a huge request for cicadas, so we did get a cicada terrarium in. But it's the necklaces, the earrings, they are flying off the shelves.
It's incredible.
So.
And then, do you want to talk about the sculptor real quick? We already talked about
that was Tapue and Jody.
Okay.
So
we already had them all.
So we got them. That was and just come and see because every week we're getting new artists.
Yeah.
I have so many cool things coming in. Every week we have new stuff. I'm continue to be inspired by just the stories that are coming from the artists and the things happening in the gallery. So please come out, hang out with us, come see us, join the community nights, come paint.
Well, and thank you so much, Jackie, for joining us today. I'm glad we were able to discuss all this and just give you a taste of what's available at the Grafton Art Gallery. We'll link everything in an article on RiverBender.com, or you can watch this interview right after 11:45 today for the next, forever on demand.
Tell your friends.
Jackie, always great talking to you. Welcome back anytime.
I appreciate it.
Before we take a little pause here, coming up in just a couple of minutes is going to be Hayner Library around 10:35. Hayner Library is one of our best supporters here at RiverBender.com, and they're the door. They're the door to unlocking the history of your family's roots with the genealogy local history department. They're the door to fun with their library of things where you can rent items for free with your library card, whether it's can jam and outdoor games with the kids while the weather's still nice, or maybe you got to bake for a large crowd and you don't have a stand mixer. Go rent one and bring it back. Or your kid's calculator breaks the week before finals. It happens.
It happens.
Don't fight the line at Walmart. You can rent a TI-84 calculator for free. Bring it back when it's done. You don't have that lady arguing with you for the $80 return credit. None of that stuff. You can go to HaynerLibrary.org right now. See what events are coming down the pipeline that fit your needs, or you can hang out with Mary Cordes and myself on the first and last Monday of each and every month as we tackle this very important topic. Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1,000,000. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
No matter the season, Played Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Played Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. It's 10 o'clock. We're starting our segment, top of the hour here, a little early with Jason and Grid Solar LLC because I just need it today. Jason, how are we doing today, man?
Awesome. How are you?
You know, we're getting into Monday mode.
Yeah, it is definitely Monday.
Well, I shouldn't be the one kind of complaining about my tiredness level. You guys have literally, from what I was talking about with Ryan, too, has just been nonstop the last couple of weeks. Is that the case?
Yeah. We've got a lot of projects in the pipeline ready to get installed by December 13th because of that big net metering change. You know, it's a busy part of the year anyway, just because everybody wants to be installed for their tax credit coming early next year. Oddly, early winter is the busiest season for solar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this year is definitely no exception with Amaranth.
Why is that, though? Because you said that, and it makes sense. But do you know why it always seems to be that?
It's just the tax credit. So people, basically what happens, and it's common, everybody does it, right? You put off till the last minute this big decision that you've been wanting to make since, last year or spring or whatever, and they wait until August or September to say yes. That's fine. We're happy to take those people, right? But we are cutting it very close because it does take a couple of months in most municipalities to get engineering and permitting and interconnection and all those little pieces of paper that we need to actually install solar on your house.
Well, there was somebody I bumped into this weekend that was watching our segment with Ryan a couple of weeks ago, and he goes, "So seriously, man, do I need to call now?" And I go, "From what we've been talking about, even off the record, yes, call as quickly as you can because
starting September 1st, we're not even going to be able to promise that we're going to get you installed by December 13th.
Are you serious? So you got 5 days, really? I'm not to put pressure on you, but this net metering change is huge.
It's huge, yeah. And it's not just that it's a big change that we're doing that. It's because we have so many people getting signed up right now. It's just a big surge, and we want to make sure everybody's happy. So starting September 1st, we're actually going to work on we're going to be selling projects as if they won't have net metering. So basically, everybody's going to need a battery.
Yeah.
For the most part, there's a few places in Illinois that still won't need a battery, but for the most part, everybody's going to need a battery so that they can store their power instead of sending it to the grid. And, obviously that does cost more, and it extends the payback of your solar system a little bit. But now you have power during power outages. You are grid resilient. You're no longer reliant on that anymore. And so while, it's a little bit more out of pocket at the beginning, you get a lot more for it.
See that now I'm glad you brought that up because I hated for it to be all doom and gloom where I didn't want to scare anybody off where it's like, well, shoot, I'm not going to buy, solar now because this net metering change is taking effect. Right. Because to me, there's still a lot of benefit to having that battery and that reliability because, hell, man, in January.
I have a battery.
Do you really?
Yeah.
See, it's just a smart
so
thing
does Ryan,
to do.
Actually.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So, it makes sense. It's a little bit extra money. It's perfect for somebody who is, let's say you're considering solar and you also are considering a generator because you have frequent power outages or you just want that insurance of not having to worry about that. Solar with a battery backup covers both of those bases and saves you money. Whereas you get a generator and you hope you never have to use it, right? You spend $12,000 on this generator, and then when you do have to use it, you run it for a week because there's a power outage for a week, and you're using so much gas, it costs you another $1,000.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, I
Where
remember
if you have a battery backup, you're making your own electricity.
So I remember whenever the power went out, it was like 2008. It was like 2 weeks because of this ice storm that hit. And my neighbor across the street had a generator, and I'm like, I was the kid going, man, they got power. Look at that.
Right,
but
right. It's expensive.
I was hearing the dad, and he goes, guy, no, we're only running this, once every, couple of hours, and just get what you need done. And you don't realize the cost that's with that.
And we can do hybrid systems too. If you have a generator and you want battery backup so that you use your generator less, absolutely can make that happen as well. It's all integratable.
Well, and see, now that you say that, it's not as scary with obviously you want the benefit of having, some of those savings, but for folks that a lot of times I'm talking to people that don't even want to be attached to the grid. They want to have that independence of, the electric.
As much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if I tell them, Airman is actually really good to work with, they're like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. Happy to help you out, man. Whatever you need, I'm going to make it happen for you.
And see, that's why it's great to call somebody like you guys that's flexible, because you've worked with so many people so far that I bet you've seen all walks of interest levels at this point.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing that I think is really good to know is that if folks ever have questions, you guys are very open in the community. I mean, you do the farmers market, you're out at these different spots, and it looks like you're going to be out at the Mississippi Earth Tones Festival too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we actually sponsored that event, and happy to do it because their values align with ours. We're kind of an eco-friendly company, and that's exactly what that entire organization is about. So, we do the Earth Day Festival every year too, and this is just adding to that.
Well, and we'll see you out there too. Because we got the flyer, and I'm like, oh look, there's Grid.
Yeah.
Well, and whenever you guys were first getting Grid going, was it of interest for you guys to really be out in the public in that way, or is it something you stumbled into?
It's kind of something we stumbled into because most solar companies tend to, they go around and do the door knocking thing. They're really heavy on internet advertising, which we do some of as well.
Right.
Because it's 2024, you kind of have to. That's part of the whole thing. But what we have found is that the old school way is still the best way. And that is, most of our business is referral business, or we are literally out in public talking to people in a place or a way that they feel comfortable talking to us. Like we're not just imposing on their own privacy. You know what I mean?
Well, and you're right though, because especially what we've been talking about since you guys have started is, you have to almost do the job of fixing maybe a bad experience from an out of towner. And so to be out there though and knowing, hey, these guys are accessible, that's a really big incentive for folks that just want to ask questions.
Right.
And they aren't going to sit there and call. So I didn't tell you this story. I was out at a home expo one time, and I just was walking around because I had to do a show, and there was a company, and I didn't even know who they were. I just was talking to them. I didn't know they took my phone number. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I'm telling you what, I had so many phone calls from this one company. It's like, I'm not getting a new shower, okay? I got last thing on my list is a shower.
Yep.
But see, I think it's great to know when we talk to you guys, you aren't going to have 48 salespeople calling us going, hey, remember our conversation from 2 weeks ago at the farmer's market? Just wanted to follow up the 48th time here.
Right. Yeah. It's the person you spoke to. That's who's going to follow up.
Yeah.
That's how that happens.
I love it.
Yeah. So whether it's, myself or Ryan, sometimes that does happen, or one of our sales reps who are there with us, or, they might be running the booth themselves. That person that you spoke to is your person.
That's cool, man.
Right?
And see, that's how it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
And now wanted to highlight something too, because you just touching on, having so many calls and just being a little bit busy at this point in the game with all the changes. You got to have a good team to be able to take on that load too.
Absolutely.
And I mean, how quick does your team, or how organized is your team? Because it's not about quickness, it's about being organized, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, efficiency over speed any day.
Yeah.
It's a small business, so I don't want to say it's a smooth, greased up running machine every day. Today is Monday, after all. But with that said, man, do we go above and beyond every time we need to.
Yeah.
Honestly, the guys, our installers, our sales team, if we tell them we need something, they are on it right now.
Well, I was talking
that's
to
just the way it happens.
Ryan the last time, and he was saying that there's times where your guys are going above and beyond and just doing maybe a little bit extra without,
I've had my guys tell me that, like the installers specifically, because that's, who I deal with the most. They'll clean customers' gutters sometimes if it's like really bad, and they're just like sitting around waiting for a part to show up or whatever, and like that's happened. And they just do
That's
that.
what it's about.
Man. They're just cool guys.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's the old way of doing business, though. It's just, that's what my grandpa talks about all the time with Rigdon Sewer Service, because, he's cleaned sewers for 50 years, and that was, what you did. It's just helping out when you can.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're already there. You might as well do something useful, right?
Well, and now, what's your team, the install team, looking like right now? Are they a little excited for the next couple of weeks, or are they're just focused and locked in?
Focused and locked in.
Yeah.
We just expanded our team a little bit, hired a new guy, and he's really good as well. And so they are, we have the redundancy, because that was one of the issues that made it not quite that smooth, greased up machine, is if one of our guys called off, we didn't have quite enough people for that one crew, right? So now we have that redundancy, and there's always somebody to help, whether it's myself or the new guy or, any of the other on our team. And so this winter should be that smooth, greased up machine. That's what we're going for. And winter is a hard time for solar because of the weather.
I couldn't imagine
ice and snow's
that.
coming up, and if there's ice and snow on a roof, they can't get up there.
Well, and it's the unreliability of the weather too, because hell, it could be 70 in January and then 43 the next day.
Right.
Just
or
insane.
Or just in general, if there's a frost at night, we can't even get on the roof until 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then you might have 4 hours of sunlight by the time it gets dark outside.
I didn't even think it.
So it's a tough time of year, because not only is it the busiest time of year, everybody wants their tax credit and net metering, but it's also the least amount of work hours that we have available for the entire year. So it gets hectic, on our side of the fence.
With the net metering change and now having the battery with you, does it change the system design completely, or is it just another component on the system?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah, so it depends on the property. These are all, we don't do cookie cutter systems.
Right.
They're made specifically for your family or your person in this house and the home itself.
Yeah.
Right. So based on the amount of electricity you use and what's your goal? Do you want just a partial backup where you're just backing up your critical loads, which is going to be a little bit cheaper for most people?
What's a critical load? Just so I can
critical load would be like, basic lights, refrigerator, freezer. You want to power some outlets, so maybe you power a portable air conditioner,
Gotcha.
heater or something like that. Critical loads are not going to cover like whole home HVAC.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right? That's not critical. That's just comfort. Right?
Okay.
Now we do those too, and that's where it was going with that. If you got a nice big house with 2 or 3 air conditioners, we can do that. It's going to cost you more, but yeah, we can absolutely do that. It's just a lot of power that you got to put out there. So we cater each design to each individual house, each individual family, and what their goals are.
Man, that's cool. And it's real. Now, how long is the lifespan on these batteries?
Batteries, minimum is 10 years. Most of the ones we sell are between 12 and 15. But they're guaranteed to have at least 70% of their original capacity at that point. So they're not useless.
So it's not like your iPhone in 6 years where you got to plug it in every 2 seconds. Okay.
Right. Yeah. No. So the cells that they use in most batteries that we sell, and to add to this is some nerdy stuff. We only do lithium iron phosphate batteries in houses. So anybody who has concerns about lithium ion battery fires, not an issue with lithium iron phosphate. It's just one of the chemistries that's better, it's more stable. You don't have to worry about that stuff. I digress. So anyway, the batteries themselves are real similar in architecture to what they're using in the newest generation of electric vehicles, right? So even the older electric vehicles, they use lithium-ion batteries. The newest ones mostly are switching over to lithium iron phosphate, and these are the quality of cells that you find in these home backup batteries.
Gotcha.
Okay, so and even those are mandated in electric vehicles to last at least 8 years. And people are finding in these older Teslas even, granted it was the older battery architecture, they're less than 20 years or more sometimes. Very common, so not a big deal. But anyway, you get plenty of use out of these things. Their warranties are on par with any gas generator that you can get. And then, they still work at that point. They're just reduced capacity.
This is incredible. Right. I mean, this is really cool to know, because to me as a consumer, that would be my first thought is, how long do I have? What's the buildup? And do you have a moment to stick around? We got to take a break. I didn't realize it's already been 15 minutes. Hey, we got to take a quick break here. Sorry, I'm getting too into solar with Jason here. GridSolarLLC.com is how you follow along and request your free solar design today. You got 5 days before you can truly, before the true incentive of net metering leaves you. But there's still a ton of opportunity that awaits you, even if it's a little bit later. So don't worry about that. We'll talk a little bit more after this quick break. You stay there. We'll stay here in studio on RiverBender.com, Roku TV.
Dream Home Realty Center.
Hey, Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team. We've got Joey.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now. You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
No, we're gonna ride down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it.
Figured, you know, it's kind of timely. 10:18 Grid Solar, Jason back in studio. And, you know, man, as we're talking just about working with clients, what are some of their concerns right now as the year starts to roll over into fall? Is it timing? You know, is it just making, you know, is it the excitement of wanting their system all up and going? What are some of the conversations you have at this time in the year?
You know, one of the conversations we have to have is that when you do get installed in the winter, you know, you do get the net metering if you have Ameren, right? So that does make a difference because you haven't had a chance to build your net metering bank throughout the year, right? So at this time of year, awesome, happy to help install your system and stuff. But you got to be aware that since you don't have that net metering bank already built up from the spring and summer, now you're going to the winter, you're going to have a little bit of a power bill left over.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So, you know, that's a normal thing this time of year. But next year, once that net metering cycle actually starts over, that's when you're going to really see the savings. You're going to be like, holy cow, this thing is awesome,
Y-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. The other day I was on YouTube and I got like peppered with all of these solar commercials from companies I've never heard of before that just kind of hit, like you said, that on internet marketing, and they hit their algorithm.
Right.
That we're talking about these new programs that are coming to Illinois Solar. Have you heard any of this? Like,
Yeah, it's all fake.
Oh, thank you. I didn't want to bring this up, but it's like it was like Oprah, where it was like, you get a system
Yeah.
for free, and you get one. You know.
So most of the time when you see those ads, it's not even the actual company who you'd be talking to.
Oh.
It's just a marketing team. You know, and in our early first year in business, we dealt with some companies like that. Anyway, they run a marketing team. They advertise the way they see fit, and the way they see fit is not right. But they'll create this program, right? And that program is, you got finance. They help you get these other incentives from the government. Everybody has the same thing.
Okay, thank you. Because I was losing my mind. I'm like, they come on my show twice a month.
Right.
I would hear about some program. That's new.
Exactly. So, yeah, everybody has the same programs. But with that said, the difference comes with how they design your system, right?
Yeah.
How they sell you these programs. How much information did we give you, and was it accurate, right? And did they follow the procedure? Because especially with the Illinois State program, it's called SREC or Illinois Shines or Illinois ABP, whatever you want to call it, there are some strict guidelines that we have to follow when doing marketing and sales and installation.
I bet.
Right? And there's a ton of violations out there. So you can actually go on the Illinois Shines website and view any violations from companies. And most of the time, it's from an out-of-state company. Most of the time. So any of those door knockers, you need to be very cautious of. You know, these companies from California and Utah and Arizona, and nothing against them, but they don't know our market.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the same. They know their market. I can't go to Arizona and sell solar.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway, you know, it's kind of like a stay in your lane kind of thing. But the other problem is that once these guys install your system, even if it's not operational yet, because you have to get inspections and PTO
And turned on,
things like
yeah.
that, turned on, yeah. It's hard to get a hold of them because they're not local.
I see. Right.
So, and then, you know, a company like mine, and this has happened more than once, we have to step in and like hold their hand and help make it happen. So that's what
incredible.
we do. Yeah.
Well, it's good to know that too. And now I wanted to ask you more about this the solar design, because I was thinking about this with Rigdon and all that, and how, you know, with sewers, you know, when you have the septic tank, you know, that no one knew about for 15, 20 years, that's just died on the vine. Whenever you're installing one of your panels or your arrays out in the field, you know, that's not on top of a roof, that's out in the yard, are those things that you take into consideration of what's underneath that ground?
Absolutely, yeah.
See, I always was curious about that.
Yeah, you have to call 811,
Okay,
obviously,
right.
because we're going to have trenching that we have to worry
Yeah.
about, running our conduit and wires underground, and then, of course, the posts that we put in for whatever type of ground mount you got. So yeah. Now, with that said, anything that is utility scale, right, or commercially owned, that's going to be taken care of by 811.
That makes sense.
Anything private like septic, that is the owner's responsibility to tell us where it is, because while we might have a pretty good trained eye, you can see the nice green square in the field where all the laterals and stuff are. It's not always obvious, right? So if you know where your laterals are, you know where your tank is, or any of that stuff, please tell us, because we don't want to make any damage. We don't want to damage anything.
Well, and they still got to clean out your septic tank,
Right, yeah. We're going to hire somebody to do that part.
Well, no, I meant whenever they have to clean it out, they're like, wait, there's a solar system on here?
Right, yeah, that too, exactly, yeah.
I always wondered that.
Now, obviously, we haven't had any issues with that. People are pretty good about knowing where that stuff is, and especially with all like the newer septic systems, their aeration systems, you can see pretty well where the tank is. That's not really an issue, but it is stuff that we take into consideration.
Really fascinating, because I was it was funny. I was walking my house just the other day, actually this weekend, just kind of walking around. I'm like, my house is too small for solar, but if I need it, it'd be right there, because that sun never leaves that spot until 7 o'clock when it turns off.
Well, there's only one way to find out if your house is too small.
That's true. Bring you my energy bill. Now, when you're meeting with folks that bring you this energy bill, what are they learning, when you break this bill down for them? Are they learning things they've never had before?
Yeah, honestly, most of the time people are like, if they talk about the size of their house being a something that gets weighed into the design. I don't care what size your house is.
Are you serious?
It's irrelevant to me. The only thing I care about is how much electricity you use, and where can I make it.
I like it, man. Okay.
Right? So do I need to make it on the ground or can I make it on the roof? Is there enough room on the roof? And then the size of your house comes into play, but also the orientation of your roof. You know, how cut up is your roof? Do you have a bunch of different, you know, roof faces and things like that? Or is it a typical ranch house where it's just 2 or 3 roof faces? You know, not a big deal. Those are things that we take into consideration. But the only thing we really go by in your power bill, and this is any solar company, is the graph that shows how much you use every single month over the last 12 months.
Great opportunity for folks.
It is.
If they want it. Can we talk a little bit more about this pergola setup too and just how that works?
Sure.
Yeah, and that design?
Yeah, so it's the pergola's it's a pre-engineered pergola that we deal with.
Okay.
Generally speaking, okay? You can get it in many sizes, but the largest footprint is 20 feet by 20 feet. For this specific one, okay, it's the most common one, and you know, basically we figure out how much solar you need, right? And then you figure out, you know, how big of a pergola you need to fit these panels on there, and then we just figure out where you want us to put it, right? And then you can figure out things like, do you want cedar or do you just want to go with yellow pine, which also lasts a long time? It's you know, it's treated wood. And then you've got, you know, the different cuts on the edges of the boards on top of the pergola, the shade boards. And so you get to change all this stuff and make it unique. And then, you know, we put solar panels on top of it that are bifacial so you can kind of see through them. And it's just really cool. And you can even line the inside of it with LEDs if you want to create a nice outdoor space, you know. And it's also helping you save money on your electric bill. It's crazy.
What I wanted to ask you about the pergola design, is this a whole house design on those pergolas, or is it just for what they're wanting in that certain sector?
It depends.
Okay, now that's
know,
fascinating.
Yeah, if you have a small power bill, and we can cover the entire usage on that one pergola, sure, that's the whole house, right?
Man.
You know, if you have a 9,000 square foot house, a 20 by 20 pergola is not going to cover it.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
But if you have like a 1,500 square foot house, you know, it's very likely it could. You know, depending on how efficient your house is, how many people live there, things like that.
Jason, I might want a pergola.
Okay.
Because I mean, seriously, I'm looking. I mean, because my power bill is really like $180, you know, a month.
Okay, yeah.
And so I'm excited to bring you my power bill. Well, and people, that's what I think's cool about working with you guys, because it's not just me doing segments with you. I got to imagine your clients get excited about this because it's not, you know, there's some nuance that you got to kind of look into, but this is an exciting change. I mean, this is a big first time people are doing this. Obviously, is going to solar, and I'm sure it's an exciting purchase for them.
It's always exciting.
Yeah, man.
That's one of my favorite things about the industry is like we sell and install a product that people are super excited to get.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's super excited for an air conditioner most of the time, like unless you just haven't had one. Right. then you're excited.
Or it's like a roof, you know,
right,
it's
yeah. But like when you get solar, they're like, man, this is cool. And like for the first 6 months they're installed, they're texting me or texting whoever their sales rep is and like saying, this is good. Is this how it's supposed to be? And like, you know, they're all about it. And then 6 months after it's lost its kind of newness, it's just kind of doing its thing. And, you know, they love it. But it's like the new technology. It's like getting a new cell phone. You play with it all the time for the first couple of weeks, and then it just becomes that everyday tool that you're using. Right?
And then whenever you...
And solar's the same way. At first, super cool, happy. You know, I'm excited for you because I am a super geek about this stuff. But then after a while, it just becomes a part of your house, and it's just doing its thing in the background and saving you money.
Has there been a unique design that you'd like to share? I've never asked you that, where maybe you've had to think outside the box a little bit that comes to mind?
Honestly, your boss John's house is quite interesting.
It is an interesting place.
Yeah, and so he's got like a dock that's going in. We're gonna put some solar on, and that's pretty cool. But as well as potentially using his roof. So yeah, we're doing like a hybrid system, and those are usually the most interesting ones because you do a little bit on the ground, you do a little bit on the roof, and then voila, you can get rid of all or most of a power bill, and you know it looks great. So those are the interesting ones to me. Yeah,
That's
for sure.
really so. What's the next couple of days look like? If someone's getting a little nervous and really was excited about net metering, they maybe kicked the can for a little too long. They got, you know, until you said September. Is now a time to call you and say, listen, guys, I know I messed up, but
Please
I really,
do. Yeah. If you wait till the end of the week, we're like, I'm not going to say that we can't get you installed by December 13th, but the likelihood has gotten a lot slimmer.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, we're going to do our best, but we're, you know, if you don't get signed up until next week, we're going to start selling systems that they're going to work well for you after net metering is no longer there. But if you get net metering, great. Now you're even better.
Right.
Right?
I'm in, man.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is a good thing.
So-
Please, if you need to now's the time to call and get that free solar design started today. See what it'll look like. GridSolarLLC.com. Jason, always good talking to you, man.
Thanks.
Man, 30 minutes on solar. We did it. How about that?
Nice one, CJ.
Hey, we'll take a quick little break here, and we'll recap everything in an article on RiverBender.com so you guys can see that in the print version. We'll come back with Mary Cordes, Hayner Library, right after this.
Dream Home Realty Center.
Hey, Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team. We've got Joey.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
.33, welcome back. Daily Show on a Monday. Someone that has worked definitely harder than I have this week. Mary Cordes, Executive Director of Hayner Library. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How are we doing?
Okay. Doing all right.
I love you. You are so fun. Well, and I just, I want to say, so many people, we were talking, my aunt, out of all people, because she watches the show every once in a while, and she goes, CJ, I never realized how many things, well, it wasn't things, how much stuff was over at Hayner Library.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, and I just love this because even though we drive by and we know that Hayner's there, to just dive into it's really fun.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny because the last couple of weeks I've gone to speak at, I think, 2 or 3 different groups. And after I was finished, that was the exact same thing that the attendees at the events or at the meetings said. They're like, I had no idea you did that much. And I said, yeah, and we're trying something new all the time. So people should be getting our next newsletter in their mailboxes probably mid to late September, and we have a whole bunch of new programs, which I'm really excited when I come back in a couple of times to talk about. So we're trying new stuff. So yeah.
Well, and you guys are doing a really good job of trying new stuff, but also not losing sight of what's worked too.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we have our long-term programs that we've been doing that I don't anticipate us, really ever getting rid of because they work and people really, really like them. But you don't want to just rely on what you've done in the past. You always want to keep moving forward. So we've got some really fun programs coming up. A couple of them are passive programs because people are busy and you want to be able to participate in programs on your own time and on your own schedule. So we have some of those and some new speakers and some new programming.
Did you guys hire a maintenance person?
No, so that's what I was going to ask you if anyone out there would like it's a light maintenance position. So really we kind of are looking for a jack of all trades. So somebody who can kind of do electrical, a little bit very, very light, change some light bulbs. Really it's getting up on a ladder because you can't be afraid of heights. So but some light maintenance. So anybody that kind of has a little bit of experience with electrical, plumbing, that kind of thing. But, we obviously bring in contractors too. So
you aren't rewiring up.
You're not rewiring anything. You're going to change some light bulbs, maybe do that kind of thing. And
good for a retiree?
Yeah, it'd be perfect. It's 25 hours a week, so it's Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it does have some paid time off and also some participation in the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. So it's a great job for anybody that's looking for part-time work.
Wow.
It is a physical job. So, but it would be great. And we're still hiring. So if you go to our website, HaynerLibrary.org, and click on at the top of the page, I think it's About Us, and there's employment opportunities listed.
Let me take you there, just so we can get you guys on this. It's About Us. Volunteer opportunities, please click on those. And then employment opportunities right here.
Yep.
Look, there's Mary!
I know. Nobody else would volunteer to be on the website. So there's a lot of me on the website because everybody else is like, I don't want my picture on there. And thankfully, a couple people, they did volunteer to do it.
So look at this. That is a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
And it's, look at the hours, guys.
Yeah.
It's Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
You can't beat that.
Yep. There's going to be a few hours where, like especially if it's snowing, it'll require snow removal and you don't know when it's going to snow. So there might be some off hours for that kind of thing. And some yard maintenance, some outdoor work. So if you like being outside, there's some outdoor work components with it as well. So
that's really cool.
If you know anyone,
what number do they call?
You can call the library at 618-462-0677 and just ask about the position. And if the front desk staff wants to transfer people to me, that's totally fine too. So just call the library and
I pay attention.
We have applications at the front desk too, so you can fill that out.
And you can be up my neighbor. You can see me kind of waddling into Mac's convenience store every morning. Well, as we're getting into this point in the year, it's got to be a little bit challenging, I would assume, because kids are back in school now. Summer reading's over, but you still got a ton of work to catch up on.
We do. So one of the things that we are required by the state every year is to fill out is the Illinois Public Library Annual Report, and that's a collection of all the statistics of everything that we've done throughout the year. And while it's a pretty intensive report that we have to fill out, it's really exciting because you really get to see your year in review. You get to see how many people actually attended programs. So I'm hoping I'll have some of those numbers for the next time I come visit because
good numbers.
They're really good numbers.
Okay,
they're
good.
Really good numbers.
That makes me smile.
And they're due back. Yeah, they're due to the state on September 1st. So hopefully when I come next week, I'll have some statistics to throw at you.
We can have some cake and celebrate.
Yes.
Well, and how has your roles at Hayner before that prepared you for the executive director spot and what you're doing with it? Because that's a lot of hours to.
Yeah, it was working in a lot of different departments and being able to, just like when you're working on this report, knowing, I worked in this department, I did this, I did that, and I've helped put this report together. And there's lots of us that have. We all bring our information to it.
You guys
and then
got
the director,
great team.
We do. We have a fantastic staff. And then the director kind of puts all the statistics together and reports them. But it's kind of been helpful because you think, does that number seem right? And then you think, yeah, because I've worked in that department and I know what this is and that is. So it has been helpful to do. So
well, and honestly, I just think it's that's going to be exciting for us too, because as long as we can help get more people to, I mean, just talking out loud, that's a wonderful thing.
Yep.
And now, as the school year goes, how important is it for you guys to stay tuned to what the school districts are working on, what their kind of programs are, and tying them into what you do at the library?
It is important. We have a really good relationship with the school district, which is nice. Sharon Wyndham, who is the manager of our teen and youth departments, she has a really good working relationship with the previous superintendent. We hope to have one with the new superintendent. We have classrooms that come in and take tours of the library. Our genealogy and local history library staff has worked with the school district to create the Alton history curriculum.
That's cool.
So we really know what is going on in the schools. We work with, I've put in articles about the ROAR, the Reading Volunteer Program, in our newsletter. So we're always kind of just keeping our eye on what the school district is doing and how we can help, assist with that or provide services and programs that are tailored to what the school needs.
Not to cut you off too, but also the book. I mean, the Alton history book and the children's book and those things. I mean, that's
working with those departments.
But
Renee
those
Johnson,
are invaluable. I mean, those are priceless.
They really are. And it's nice because we keep our foot in the door at the school district, and then the school district, if they ever need anything, they think, oh, the library. We've got contacts at the library in multiple departments. We kind of have our foot in the door and know, okay, we can call this person if we want to work on a program together, or we can do this, we can do that. So that's kind of nice
wonderful.
too. Yeah.
Just wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, what is coming down the pipe?
So we've got a few programs coming up. We've got one, we have our Fall Memory Cafe, and this is the program that we do with the Alzheimer's in a partnership with the Alzheimer's Association. And so patrons who are experiencing dementia or Alzheimer's or memory loss related issues, they can come along with their caregivers, and caregivers can meet with each other and kind of develop relationships and friendships and see, okay, have you tried this resource? Have you tried that resource? This is what's helped our family. This is what's helped our family. And then at the same time, the people who are experiencing dementia and Alzheimer's, we actually have activities that help them kind of reminisce and hopefully bring back some memories. And they're all different themed, and we have some coffee and light refreshments that we serve. We just kind of want to create a welcoming place for patrons, and that is Saturday, September 14th from 10 to 12, open house style at our mall library. Jared Hennings is coming.
He's always great.
Oh, he has such a great voice, and his musicians that play with him, Ralph Monroe and Brian McKinney, are fantastic.
They're great.
They are so good, and so they're going to be coming on September 24th, which is a Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. at the Mall Library upstairs in our performance room, and they're going to be presenting the music of Billy Eckstine and Mel Torme. So that's going to be
nice.
That's going to be really fun. So we have those two programs coming up, and then we have a film flashback Friday, which is September 12th at 6 p.m., The House of Flying Daggers. We're going to show that, and that'll be at our genealogy and local history library. So we have those coming up, and then in September we have a couple of programs. I don't know that we really have talked too much about them. It's X's and So's, which is kind of a really great program.
Yeah, we've mentioned it, but we never really talked about it.
Not gone in depth about it. So what we do, we have our multi-purpose room at Alton Square Library, and so if you are a crafter or an artisan or an artist and you need a big place to spread out your work and work on it, or if you want to meet other people who are doing the same type of work, you can come. We have a smart board in our multi-purpose room at Alton Square Mall. We do it twice a month. We have a big smart board where we can pull up a database that we have called Creative Bug,
which is free with your Hayner Library card.
Hayner Library card. You can get it at home.
I'm used to the library.
Yeah, you can get it at home and watch it. But maybe you want to see it on a big screen, or you're working on something, and we can pull up a tutorial for you while you're working on it and try to figure it out.
But I think it's good for new people that are even maybe not even just new, but just are stuck.
Yeah, whether you're stuck or maybe you're thinking about, I've been thinking about working on this craft. Maybe come and see if somebody else is working on the same thing, and they can kind of get you started, tell you what kind of materials you're going to need, or hints or tips or that kind of thing. So Basically, you pack it up and bring it to the library, and we provide the space for you to work on it.
So I can see you sniffling. The air quality had just shot up to negative bad. So they put the air quality alert out in like the last 10 minutes. We've gone from average to bad. And I like just hearing us talk right now.
Yes,
I can feel this happening.
Yes, I know. So I ran into 2 people yesterday, and I said, and I kind of backed away from them. I said, "Do you have a cold?" And they said, "No, it's just the air quality."
So I swear, right when I'm like hearing us both talk, and I'm looking at this air quality because our sinuses are like identical. You know, it's insane.
I know. Yeah, there've been a couple people. It's like, do you have a cold? No, sinuses.
So X's and so's is there any crap that we cannot bring, like anything that could be considered dangerous?
No, I mean, we haven't run across one yet. Let's put it that way. I mean, I'm sure there might be. Like if you're working on creating a new type of jet fuel, probably don't bring it into the library. But
I know a few towns that are doing that.
Yeah, right. But if you are just working on a sewing or quilting or painting or any of that kind of thing, you are welcome to bring that into the library. So maybe not that, but other than that, you should be okay.
Hey, how are the teens group doing?
They're doing really well. Yeah, they're doing really well. We had, I think, I'm relying on my memory, which right now isn't great, but I think we had 37 teens who completed the summer reading program, which is kind of amazing because I think it might be the most we've ever had because teens don't exactly, you think teens in the library, we've got a great group of teens. We have a really great person who's also doing new programs and services for them, and she is amazing. Megan Dees is her name.
We've had Megan on the show.
Fantastic, and she has a memory that's unbelievable. The kids can come in. She reads young adult fiction so that she knows her audience, and kids can come in and mention a book series. She's either read it or knows about it, and she can list the titles in the series in order. I mean, she's amazing. And the teens are really responding to her.
And see, that to me is why you need to have the right people, because you can go to school all you want and have every degree in the world, but if you can't connect with the teens, and what I think is important too, and I don't want to say more important because both of those roles are equally valuable. But to get a young child excited to the library too is very important. Not only just that, but to get their parents excited.
Exactly. And if you can get somebody when they're young who becomes a library user, they're pretty much going to be a library user and a reader the rest of their life because they see how important, not only how important it is, but just the services and programs we offer that are free. I mean, if you can get in that mindset of instead of running out to the store to buy something, come to the library and get it for free. If you can get out of that mindset of, hiring, maybe somebody to help you write a paper, and remember we have the databases, you can do that for free. Just everything you think about before you go to a store, we really want people to think or hire somebody, can I do that at the library? Because you pretty much can. There's not a group that's asked me to come and speak or a group that I've gone to talk to or anyone that has said, oh, we want you to come, but you probably don't have anything that you can talk to us about. It's like, nope, I guarantee you we can make it fit because every aspect of life.
Hell, everyone I talked to that seriously, whether it's a school district or I just had Senator Harris was just on this last week, and we were talking about having those mobile office hours, that she does. There's a component for everybody.
There
now,
really is.
When is the coffee cup being made that says LFL? Library for Life.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That's actually
I got you. I got you.
I know.
I'm telling you.
I know, because we are actually working on maybe getting some swag that we can sell.
Library for Life.
I'll have to remember that. So,
you can have it for free.
Thanks.
But, I mean, to me, those are the things you're right are so important because it's not just, and I've gone through this so many times, and with coaching and all the things that I've done with kids and all that is, it's not necessarily the kid. It's how do you keep their parent interested enough to bring them?
Yes, exactly. And that's one of the things, too, that, yes, we're having a story time, and yes, the story time is for the kids, but we have families who have become really good lifelong friends because they met as parents at the library. Or, there's the story time taking place, but then we have the parents who all know each other and who cheer for each other and who have become friends. And, it's if you can create a bond with parents, they want to come. They want to see their kids do well. They want want to entertain their kids. They want to see the friends that they've made at the story time and the story hour. So yeah, it's really important.
And it really just showcases though why it's just why to have you guys is so important too, because if you don't get that child interested in STEM and interested in reading and critical thinking, it really leads to a lifetime of struggle.
It does. It really does. And we have programs that we've designed or that we've partnered up with. So we have like 1,000 books before kindergarten. And so what we've done is we've created this program and participated in this program where you can come into the library, sign your child up as soon as they're born. And the whole point is before they get to kindergarten, before they turn 5, you will have read 1,000 books to them. And that is, that you really can't calculate. There's not a way to calculate how important that is, because it's just, you're learning letters and numbers and colors and phonics and that relationship with reading and with the written word, and also parent time, with your child, and it's really important. And so for every so many books that they read, there's incentives and prizes and things, because we do realize how important it is to build a relationship with reading and with the library. So
and that's what I just think it's really great to kind of take hold of that and realize what it's there for. Now, when does your Teen Advisory Board meet?
The Teen Advisory Board meets, and I've got it in the newsletter, because like I told you this morning when we were talking about working on that program, my brain is just about shot. The Teen Advisory Board meets on Wednesdays. It meets on September 11th. That's our next one at 4:00 p.m. We meet at the Mall Library. And what we love, it's always the second Wednesday of every month. And the teens meet, and this is really important because this is where they get together and they decide, hey, this is what we want to work on, or what we want to have this we call them semesters, but this quarter at the library. So they help us develop our programming, they help us develop our services, because we want it to be responsive to what they want. Because if you want teens to come in the library, you have to give them what they want. And so a lot of our programming is based on what they've suggested to us.
Well, that is just a wonderful opportunity to be a part of. And another thing, guys, if you haven't been a part of this one, we've talked about this before, but September the 5th is the next opportunity for Taps and Tums, which is one of the greatest things that you guys have going for you.
That's so much fun. That's really fun.
But you created a community,
we did.
Mary,
we
in that.
Absolutely did. We have a group that meets, and what I love about it is there's like a core group that has been there since the beginning, and it's grown exponentially. I mean, we've had up to almost 30 people at this book club, which it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. And we've actually talked about taking that and like putting people at 2 tables, and everybody's like, no. We really like the one big discussion group, which is great. So,
cool.
But what I love about it is this group has formed, and they have really become friends, but they're so welcoming to new people, because we still have new people that show up every time, and they think, oh, these people seem like they know each other, and that group just welcomes everybody in. So that takes place at the Old Bakery Beer Company, and a shout out to the Old Bakery Beer Company, because they give us a room to use for free. You get a drink when you come in, and it's alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Everybody gets a free drink, and they've really been a great
community partner.
Yeah, it's been a great partnership with them. So, it takes place from 6 to 7 o'clock is our social hour, and so you can participate in that, and if you want to, if you don't have to come to that. And then at 7 o'clock, that's when the actual book discussion takes place, and it runs from 7 to 8, depending on how good the book is. Sometimes it runs a little past that, but it's been a lot of fun. And we are meeting on Thursday, September 5th, and we're reading Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. So and we always try to make sure that we have the book in audiobook, ebook, large print, and regular print, so that everybody can participate.
So I wanted to ask you this. Right now, currently on September 17th, is Neil Gaiman still going to be?
That one has been canceled.
Okay.
And because Neil Gaiman has kind of been, he's been in the news, let's put it that way.
I wanted to, because I saw it advertised.
He has been in the news, and so this newsletter gets published quarterly, and it comes out ahead of time, and he was set up ahead of time, and then some allegations came out, and it was just made everybody a little uncomfortable. And so
that's a good call.
Yeah, we don't really know the circumstances or the validity or anything, and so it's like, let's pause this for a second and see how this shakes out. And then if everything shakes out great, then Neil, you're welcome back. If it doesn't, then
see you later.
We haven't. And those are set up through a consortia, a group of libraries throughout the whole state. So from Chicago all the way down to Cairo, we all belong to this, and it's programs that you can.
So for the audience that says I always have everything scripted, that's That's how you can tell that I do not ask, or you're not
No,
prepare a
you
single
don't,
question.
you don't.
There's a guy out there that seriously thinks all this is staged. I swear.
No.
But October the 9th, though, Erica Sanchez is doing good, though. She's allowed.
She's coming. She's coming Wednesday, October 9th at 7 p.m. And these are all programs that you can get. You register for them online, and then you watch them online. And so if you want to watch them at home from the comfort of your own home, that's fantastic. But if you need to access it at the library, just come to the library, bring a set of headphones with you, and plug them in, and you can sit and watch this program at a computer at the library,
Let's
too.
talk internet access at the library.
Yeah, so you can access the internet multiple different ways. So we have computers that you can just sit down and use. Anybody is welcome to use them. If you have a library card, you just sit down, put your library card number in, and just log straight into the computer. If you don't, you can get a guest account at the front desk, and it just takes a couple of seconds. You just bring your ID in with you. We give you a number, and then you sit down and use it. Or you can use the Wi-Fi at the library. So same thing. You just log into the Wi-Fi with your library card or a guest account. And we have that. You can also check out laptops and hotspots with your library card. So you can check that out from the library and take those home with you. And we also offer wireless printing. So if you're at the library and you've got something on your phone and you don't want to sit down and log in, you can just send it remotely. There's an app that you can put on your phone. You send it remotely and just come in and print it out. So we have all kinds of ways to access the internet.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to talk about today?
I don't think so. I think we've got...
Mary Cordes, I'm going to let you get back to working hard.
Yeah, thanks. Gee, thank you.
Well, and this has just been wonderful to keep talking all the things that you guys are working on. You can stay up to date by going to HaynerLibrary.org. There's a tab on the website that says, How Do I? Right underneath that is Get a Library Card. Click on that, you put your information in, and you're taking care of that quickly. Or just stop by one of the locations. Get your library card and realize how much of a door this is. A door to adventure, a door to learning, a door to, so much, honestly. A door to things.
A door to things in the library.
How's the seed library doing?
Doing really well. And we're really hoping, I'm glad you brought that up, because now, I just went out in my yard this weekend and pulled a bunch of seeds from my black-eyed Susans.
Oh, cool.
And so now's the time when people are starting to kind of take it's the last few weeks of summer, and then we're going to get into fall, and people are going to start harvesting things. And so we're really hoping that people will think of the library when they're harvesting their seeds, because all they have to do is just clean them, bring them in a big baggie if you want to, and we'll take care of the rest. You just need to make sure they're prepped, and we'll divide them up, we'll label them, we'll put them out, we'll do all the work. You just bring in the seeds. So
that sounds good. Well, Mary Cordes, get back to working hard.
Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll wrap up the Monday that was after this.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
I just wanted to come back and said I'll see you tomorrow for more of our daily show. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.